Hello, today we are making the world's easiest cheesy muffins. Easy peasy cheesy muffins, although there's no peas in them, but you could put peas in them. So just easy cheesy muffins. They're a really good basic recipe to make snacks, or you could use them as a breakfast muffin. You can make them sweet or savoury. You can add loads of different things in to vary the flavours and change them up. If you followed the cookie recipe that I made, I would say this is on a par with easiness, if not easier. So I like to think of this as the savoury version. If you're feeling really lazy but you want to do some baking, you could have these as your main course and the cookies as your dessert. And you'll have made two amazingly simple and delicious things to eat, which both only use 3 ingredients. As with the cookies, they use 3 ingredients and then you can add in chocolate chips or raisins or whatever extras. This is a base recipe, so I will show you loads of different optional added extras that you can put in to make them into yummy vegetable muffins. But what's great is you can also make a sweet option. So you could add in, say, chopped apple and have apple and cheese muffins, which are just as good. So I'm going to show you how to make these muffins 2 ways. And the first way is the 3 ingredient way. Now, if you want a sort of heavier, more filling muffin, then you could try the second way, which is exactly the same thing actually, but we're just gonna add an egg in. So first up, we're gonna preheat our oven and we need to put it on to 180 degrees Celsius. First bit done, easy. Now, if you've got a fan forced oven, it will be 160 degrees with the fan. And if you have got a Fahrenheit oven, 325 degrees. So I'll run you through our 3 base ingredients. You will be needing self-raising flour, cheese, and milk, and that is it. It doesn't get simpler than that. First up, I'm gonna get my self-raising flour. And it's Savoury in here. Where are you? So here we go, I've got self-raising flour. I need my milk. My last thing is my cheese, which I've got over here. So there we are, my ingredients are ready to be used. Now, basically, there's no measuring involved in this recipe if you've got a standard cup that you use for measuring stuff out, because all you need is 2 cups of your self-raising flour, 2 cups of cheese grated, and then 2 cups of the milk, or actually 1.5 cups if you're going to use less milk like I am today, and that will make you 12 muffins. But I've realized I'm running low on cheese, so I'm going to halve everything and put in a cup of flour, a cup of grated cheese, and 3/4 of a cup of milk. So I'm going to put my flour in first, and I'm using a beaker, which works really well to measure a cup. You could also use like a sort of level teacup, which works the same, or 3/4 of a mug will do the job. So here we go. I'm putting my flour in. Woo! To a cloud of flour smoke, flour dust, there we go. And then next, I'm putting in 3/4 of a cup of milk. What I might do is go for my cheese first and then gradually add my milk. I don't want too much lumpiness. So usually this method, you'd make 12 muffins, and 12 muffins is, I'm using 2 cups of cheese, 2 cups of flour, self-raising flour, and 1.5 cups of milk, but I'm running a bit low on ingredients, so I am going to use half of everything and make 6 cheesy muffins. That's so good. It's so easy, this recipe. And if you're not good at remembering, you just like throwing things together, just use 2 cups of everything. 2 cups milk, 2 cups flour, self-raising, and 2 cups cheese will also do the trick. And you don't even need to remember. Just shove everything in a bowl and get your batter mixed up nicely. then you just spoon it into muffin cases and then put it in the oven, and it's a brilliant basic recipe. And then, oh gosh, I've done loads of cheese. That is definitely a cup. Look. Whoa. I didn't think I had much cheese left, but actually I could do the 2-cup option if I wanted to. It's a cup of cheese. Look at all this leftover cheese I've got. I went wild grating my cheese. I live in a house of cheese lovers, and the great thing with these muffins as well is you can try different cheeses. So you could try adding in a bit of blue cheese, for instance. This is ordinary cheddar that I've used, but you could try mixing up. So I'm going to add my cheese in, and then in it goes, and then I'm going to mix it while gradually adding my milk. Okay, so add a bit and then mix it, and then it will disappear, then add a bit more and then mix again, and it will disappear, and it should start slowly going battery. Here we go. So as you can see now, it's much more sort of sticky and globby, and then add a bit more milk and mix again. Yeah, now this is actually turning into a proper batter. Oh, it's really gloopy. It makes that lovely noise when it mixes. Can you hear that? I love that noise. Okay, squelchy. And I'm ready to put that into my muffin tin. You can put it into cupcake cases as well, if you want to. You don't have to. Right, so I'm gonna get my, oh, there we go. My oven is up to temperature. I'm gonna get my cupcake tray. So now, if you're not using cupcake cases, you need to grease the individual muffin compartments. So I'm gonna quickly smush it around each one, and that's of course so it doesn't stick. No one wants their muffins stuck in the tray. If you're using cupcake cases, obviously you don't need to do this bit. Shiny and greased, and then I'm just gonna plop it in. So I've made enough here actually for 6 muffins, but because I'm using quite a shallow tin, I'll probably be able to get 12 out of this. Okay, it's sticking to my spoon. So there we go. 1 down, loads to go, and then I'm not putting anything in them today because this is just for showing you, and they're great to have with, like, you know, butter. You could put something on them like cream cheese. My son has even been known to have one with marmalade before. I am gonna talk you through a recipe that uses an egg, and in that one we're gonna be putting some red pepper and sweet corn, which works really well. And if you want to make them as part of a meal to serve, you could always do the egg version, which I'm going to show you after this. I've got exactly enough for 12, so my tray is probably half of the depth of your average muffin tray. Last one. Some of mine are quite small, but hey, maybe I should make a few that are big and a few that are small. Decisions. Okay, I'll just go with what I've got for now. Right, okay, so now I am ready to put these into the oven. As always, oven gloves on, and in they go. Those are in the oven for 20 minutes, or until they're golden brown. So depending on how hot your oven is, you could keep checking. Now, if you wanted to make the version with an egg, it's exactly the same thing. So you would need 1 cup of self-raising flour, 1 cup of cheese, 1 egg, 1 cup of milk, and then a small handful of sweet corn, a small handful of spinach, and 1/4 of a red pepper. And basically it's exactly the same as what we just did, but you need to whisk your egg up first with whatever you are adding in. So that would be the sweet corn and red pepper chopped up into little pieces. And then you combine it all together with the other ingredients in the bowl, then put it in the cases and put it in the oven as per usual. And that will give you a really lovely muffin as well, which has a bit more to it. Now I can quickly suggest to you some good flavour combinations for your easy cheesy muffins. You might want to add really finely chopped mushrooms, tiny little pieces of mushrooms, or tiny chopped pieces of tomato work well, or pineapple even if you fancy a sweet variety, or if you are a meat eater you could add, I don't know, tiny pieces of bacon for instance. If you like a bit of spice you could try cayenne pepper or chili flakes, even though most kids I know wouldn't opt for that, or just ordinary pepper in there. And chopped up bell peppers, as with the second variety of muffin that I suggested. You could also add in the sweet corn, which goes really well with red pepper. And here are some other top flavours of cheese muffins that people like. So if you fancy experimenting with something more unusual, why not try and check some of these out? So these are different tried and tested flavour combinations from muffin recipes already out there. So along with the grown-up, you can have a little think about what you might like, and to be a good cook, it's all about experimenting and tasting and seeing what you like. Green veg such as leek and broccoli and spinach work great with cheese, as do onions, spring onions or red onions, and sweet corn and peppers, like we discussed before, work well with those. You could try sweet potato using mashed cooked sweet potato, and then olives, they're quite an acquired taste, but as with red onion and spring onion and everything, chop it small. You can also try different cheeses if you are a cheese lover, but cheddar does make a good base, but you could mix in a bit of blue cheese, or you could just try Parmesan. Goat's cheese and feta are 2 other cheeses that are very popular. Or how about Marmite or chili jam or chutney, depending on what your tastes are. Put in what you like. Get a grown-up to help you. There are lots of sweet options out there as well. Tiny bits of pineapple work well, or you could do sweet savoury by grating in carrot or maybe using some cooked pumpkin. I really like fruit and cheese, so apple, blueberry, pear, they're all really good options too. If you're not vegetarian, you could always add in a bit of meat. Once again, chop it small, make sure it's cooked. These work well with the egg variety of muffins. So all those will work really nicely, all those flavours and options, as long as you remember to chop things up really small. If you're putting carrot in, grate it, but otherwise chop things up small so they get a chance to cook through and mix in with the rest of the muffin. Apart from sweet corn, obviously, and peas, because they're already small. The muffins keep really nicely in a Ziploc bag, so once you've made your muffins and they've cooled, you can store them like that, and they're brilliant because you can just dip in and out of your bag and chomp away. Okay, so any moment now, hopefully my timer will go off and it will be tasting time. I shall put my oven gloves on in preparation for the alarm to go. Yay! Okay. Out they come. So there we are. Those are golden brown on top. Shush, hush now, hush, hush. Yeah, those are golden brown on top. So they're ready to turn out. Hopefully I greased the tray enough, because they are notorious for sticking. You have to do a good job of greasing the tray. And I'm going to ease them out and pop them onto a cooling rack, so that all the moisture that's still in there can come out. So clonk, here I have the cooling rack. And I shall, woo, slip them out with a utensil. Here we go. Actually, it's hot. They're hot at the minute. I might wait for them to cool a tiny bit before slipping them out, because that will be easier, and I don't want to burn my hand, because look, I burnt my hand the other day. Forgot to say, very important when using ovens and doing dangerous things in the kitchen, always have a grown-up with you to help. Right, these will have cooled off a bit. I was hoping that my kids or my husband would have materialised by now, but it's Sunday morning and it seems that everyone is just sleeping in forever except for me. No one's awake, so anyway, I will pop these onto my cooling rack in the meantime. And if they don't materialise, I can do the taste testing. You know, if they're going to just sleep their day away, that's up to them. Okay, so I've scored these around. In fact, they're pretty cool already. Well, they're still warm. Transferring them to the cooling rack. And they smell lovely. Sort of mildly cheesy, not overpoweringly cheesy. There we go, and I'll show you what they look like, even though you already sort of saw. Here we go. So I'll let them cool a little bit more, and then if no one has woken up of my lazy family, then I will taste them myself. Who knew? Who knew? Ah, somebody's up. Hello. Would you like to try a cheesy muffin?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, this is good news. Huq has got up. Is everyone else still sleeping?
No.
No, really? Where is
Konie's
everyone?
up.
Oh, did he just wake up now?
Yeah.
Okay, has he brushed his teeth?
I don't know.
You don't know. Is he still in his pyjamas?
Oh, I haven't brushed my teeth yet, so I have to do it.
Oh, go on then. Go and brush your teeth. Because we want you to try this, and now we'll taste all the toothpaste. Okay, I'm going to have a try instead. Okay, so here we go. It's still warm, actually. I can't even wait for it to cool. I'm just going to go for it now. Oh, that's so good. I love it. You know the great thing is it's kind of light, but it's also kind of filling, if that makes sense. What's it like? It's like a Yorkshire pudding, sort of cheesy Yorkshire pudding, but less smooth, more, not gritty, but, you know, it's not as, you know, smooth. It's got kind of like, you know, this texture. So good. I thoroughly recommend it. And this is just made with a bit of flour, a bit of milk, and a bit of cheese. This one has got no added extras, no egg or no vegetable. Amazing, just 3 ingredients and so delicious, brilliant. Thoroughly recommend it. If my son materialises with brushed teeth, we'll get his verdict as well. Yum. I've transferred them to a plate. They are looking yummy. And Huq is back with brushed teeth and is finishing polishing one off. Go on, put the last bit in your mouth. Yum. Okay, down the hatch, down the hatch. And what do you reckon, Huq?
Yummy.
Is it yummy?
Yeah.
Huq is now going for his second, and he's got some cream cheese on this, okay? Look at that, second one already. This is your breakfast then, Huq. Catch the crumbs on the plate. And what do you reckon? Is it yum, yum, yum?
Mm-hmm.
Do you love it?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want more of it?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Okay, well, you keep eating. I've now put them in a tin. And my second son has awoken, even though Dad's still asleep. Are you going to try some? Go.
Yeah.
Go for it. How is it?
Yummy.
Ah, yummy. So, Kobe, do you want another one after this?
Yes, please.
Okay, great. Can you give them a score out of 10, do you think?
10 times 10.
Brilliant. Yum, yum, yum.
100.
10 squared. Good work.
Can I have more?
Yep. There's some more left. You can have as many as you want.
Even if they run out?
Even if they run out, I'll make more.
Time for me to say goodbye. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have,
Please subscribe and spread the word. Bye. Thank you, Mummy.
You do like these, don't you? Good, good.